Are you ready to get your shit together? Isn't that what we are all truly trying to do? In this fun, life-hack-full show, we will learn together how to navigate this roller coaster called life. We, as glorious messy humans, can sit in the proverbial third car, grumpy and bored, or in the front of the roller coaster having the time of our lives. What do you choose? In this show, you can expect meaningful content and practical takeaway tools to make life easier and exceptionally more joyful. There will be epic guests who already love their lives, allowing them to share their get your shit together tips and words of wisdom. Life is too long and too short to not love your life. Welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy. Hello, welcome to Get Together Live with Amy Joy. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties, but this is life sometimes. Congratulations on your abundance. I always love starting the show with that. I want you to think about right now how abundant you actually are. Take a look around, see the smiling faces, see the things that you get to enjoy every day, and just really take it in and feel that gratitude that comes with acknowledging the abundance. I learned this from a gentleman named Matt Kahn, and he went around silently and sometimes out loud saying, "Congratulations on your abundance," everywhere he went. And he had a full circle moment when he was about to go out and speak, and he had the largest crowd he's ever had. And someone walked up to him who didn't know that this is what he did and said, "Congratulations on your abundance." And so it's amazing how things come back around. Thoughts become things. Mind creates matter. We create at the frequency at which we vibrate, right? All of these things are true. And so what we think is super important. And that's what this show is all about. Thank you for being here. Super excited. I'm feeling really abundant today because I had the privilege of meeting an amazing soul. And he is a famous musician, and he's here in Vegas. I'm in Vegas. You can see that there's no backdrop here. And so I'm on the road right now, and so I have a little clip of his music right here. Isn't that amazing? His name is Mike Rayburn, and he is going to be on the show in the end of March. And I am so excited to have him here and to learn from him. He is an incredible speaker. I think he's had over 5,000 meetings and seminars or something like that. It's crazy. So amazing. And I'm very excited to introduce you to the amazing Tiamo De Vettori. He is an epic musician too. He was said to be by LA Music Awards, the musician of the year, sorry. And he's amazing. He's a beautiful soul. He has a mission that goes deep, and it's called Joy First. And I'm Amy Joy, so this is totally in alignment, and very excited for you to meet him. Stay tuned to the end for mantra magic and for the beautiful meditation and blessing at the end. Thank you for spending your very precious time with us today. I'm excited to be here with you. Awesome. So this is the time of the show where we do our 2 minutes, change your state, elevate. And why do we do that? We do that to raise our frequency. Again, everything is energy, and the more we can live in a beautiful state, there are really only 2 states. You're either in a suffering state or you're in a beautiful state. And the more you're in a beautiful state, the more you love your life, period. And I am all about that. So today we are going to do a pranayama breathing. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb and our ring finger and we're going to close our nostrils. So you're going to close your right nostril and you're going to breathe in through your left. So blow all the air out and then breathe in for 4 counts. After 4 counts, you're going to hold your nose like this for 16 counts. And then we're going to exhale from the other nostril. So you're going to cover it like this. And you're going to exhale 8 counts. Okay, so I know it's kind of weird, but trust me, it helps raise your frequency. Okay, and I only have a couple minutes, so I can't get into all the science. All right, so everybody with me, we're going to breathe in 4 counts, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we're going to let our thumb go and we're going to squeeze the other nostril and exhale 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then put your thumb on the other nostril and breathe in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And exhale 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, if you want, you can continue that. It's good to do it about 6 times. We don't have time for that today, but that is another beautiful way of raising your frequency. Okay, so right now is the time where we're going to get our shit together. All right, and today we're going to answer the question, how do you turn an idea or a dream into a reality? This is a big deal because so many people, there's only, I think, 20% of the world, 20% of the world even has goals. 20%, that means 80% don't. And this is by, let me get the stats for you here. Here we go. According to Reliable Plant, only 20% of people set goals for themselves, which means 80% of people don't. Okay, so this is a problem. This is a big problem. And I've told you before, I didn't know how to dream, right? And so, but over years, I was learning and I was getting better at it. And as I thought about what I could share with you today, I thought about the biggest dream that I have personally ever accomplished. And this is not meant to impress you, but to impress upon you how these steps that I'm about to share with you, how they work. Okay, so I hope you have a pen and paper handy. Okay, write this stuff down because you're not going to remember. Okay, tomorrow you're going to think she said something really cool, but so write it down, write it down. Okay, but first I want to share a little story. So my parents, they're amazing. They've given their heart and their souls to people for their whole life. They were missionaries for over 40 years, and they served. And the way it works with missionaries is you're given gifts from friends and families and churches, and there was always enough, but there wasn't a lot of extra. And so as a kid, I always thought, I want to help mom and dad someday when I'm able. And so as I grew up and became an adult myself, I started thinking, I think it's time. I want to help mom and dad, and I want to help retire them. And so I thought about building them a home. Now I live in Mexico, and so I had to convince them first to move there, and so they said yes. And so I started the process of building them a home. Now this is not a small dream. At least it wasn't for me. It was a huge one for me. And so how do you actually do that? Okay. Now here's the thing. I told you already that only 20% have goals. But here's the other problem. According to Forbes Business, only 8% of the world's population even manage to make that dream a reality. So for the few that actually write down their goals, only 8% actually turn it into a reality. Now, what's the problem What's the suffering if you don't have a goal? Okay. Well, for me, there was tons of suffering when I didn't have goals, when I didn't have dreams. Again, I remember I didn't know how to dream. I just thought, you know, I didn't even, when someone asked me what my dream car was, I didn't even have an answer because I didn't know how to think bigger than what my current circumstances were. So the number one problem is you never change your circumstances. You're always in the same spot, which for me feels like being stuck or stagnant, which I don't know about you, but I don't like it. All right. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of scatteredness. There's a whole lot of anger that comes, I believe, with not having goals and dreams because you're probably not loving your life to the fullest, in my humble opinion, having been on the other side of dreaming, right? And so here's the good news. You don't need to deal with the problem because there is a solution. All right. Psychology professor Dr. Gail Matthews at the Dominican University in California led a study on goal setting with nearly 270 participants. The results, here's this. You are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. Write them down. So that's number one. First thing, you got to write them down. Now I'm going to add this to the screen here, and it's coming. All right, here's the steps. So take a picture of this or write it down, even better. Now, first step is this: know what you want. Okay, so it's kind of obvious, but know what you want. Now, the second thing, write it down. You have to write it down. Please write it down. You're 42% more likely to make it happen just by that. Now, here's the other thing. Make sure it's actually what you want. Sometimes we have other people's goals and dreams pushed on us, and it's not actually ours. So make sure it's your dream, your goal, something you're excited about, okay? And you want to know why you want it. For me, it was all about being able to serve my parents. It was all about being able to give back to them, to be able to help, to provide a happy life for them. They're interior decorators naturally, and I wanted them to be able to decorate their own house with their own things because they had always been in prepared housing for them. And this was their first own house, at least in like 40 years. It was a long time. So for me, I had lots of reasons to be able to do that. All right. The bigger the why, the easier the how, says Tony Robbins. All right. So make sure you have a big, long list of whys. Okay. And then how will you feel when you get it? Make sure it's good feelings. If you think that it's going to be some form of torture or something terrible at the end of your dream, then that's not going to work. You're not going to do it. Okay? Because we'll do more to avoid pain than to move towards pleasure. So make sure there's some pleasure on the other end of this dream and this goal. All right, step two is you got to achieve it one chunk at a time. Now, I recently opened a retreat center called Upaya Retreat Center, and there's a lot of retaining walls on the property. And I'm really proud of it because my family, my kids and I, we built it like rock by literally rock, the next rock, which is obvious, I know. But sometimes we look at a dream and it looks so big and so scary and impossible that we forget it's just one brick at a time. It's just one rock at a time. It's just one next thing at a time. And so it's totally possible. All right. And then here's what you want to do. You want to schedule it. If you know, you have to ask yourself, what do I need to do next towards my goal, towards my dream? What do I need to do next? And then schedule it if you can't do it right then. When you schedule it, things are as good as done as long as you follow your schedule. All right. So you got to actually do it. And then ask the constant question, what else could I do? What else could I do? With the building of my parents' home, I was in sales at the time, and I was like, okay, what else do I need to do? Okay, it's toilets next, it's windows next. Okay, what do I need to sell this week to be able to do that? And that's how I brick by brick was able to build the house. And then number 3 is you want to just do it. You need to actually do it. You can't just talk about it. It can't just swirl around in your head as a wonderful, glorious idea. You have to actually take action, which again sounds obvious, but the obvious isn't always so obvious to us glorious, messy humans. So do it. Play full out. Decide to play full out. Decide to not go half-ass. Decide to complete. Put one foot in front of the other and celebrate along the way. And then number 4, visualize it as if it's already done as you're working on it. Just visualize it complete, see it, feel the feelings, and watch the magic. And that house there is the house. And so it's possible. It's possible, one brick at a time. One brick at a time. Awesome. All right, I'm going to remove this for you. Perfect. I hope that was helpful. Those of you on Facebook or YouTube, I'd love to hear from you in the chat. Let's see I'd love to know where you're coming from today. Oh, we got someone here in Vegas. Hey, Christine, so great to see you. Awesome that you're here. Awesome. Okay, so now it is time. I'm so excited, and I am extra excited because there were some technical difficulties and I wasn't sure if Tiamo was going to make it. And so I was like preparing to do this all on my own, but I don't have to. Tiamo's here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read his amazing bio to you. Tiamo is a spiritual teacher and entrepreneurial mentor who has spoken to over 100,000 people on more than 250 stages at conferences and seminars, and combines speaking with original live music to deliver keynote concerts. Tiamo is the #1 best-selling published author, was named LA Music Awards Singer-Songwriter of the Year, has appeared on Fox, CBS, NBC, and was featured as a coach to watch by the amazing women and men of Power magazine. Tiamo also leads his own sold-out seminars for aspiring speakers and inspirational music artists from around the world. Put your hands together, drum roll please, for the amazing Tiamo.
Hi, Amy.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful. What's that?
How are you tonight?
Feeling good. It's wonderful being on with you, and I'm really happy that we were able to connect and get past the technical stuff, and really looking forward to this conversation.
Yay. Well, before I ask you a whole bunch of beautiful questions, I would love to give you just 1 to 2 minutes to connect with the audience, and I'll dip out and just tell them, who is Tiamo?
I am someone who by nature loves life, is very playful, youthful, and vibrant. And along my entrepreneurial path, I started losing more and more layers of that. And in the last couple of years, I've recaptured that in a way that is very unconventional, in a way that I just discovered on my own, because I felt like there has to be so much more than this chasing that I'm doing. And I found a treasure, and that greatest treasure was inside of me, and a deeper connection with myself and the people around me through the power of joy. And I could say a whole lot more about myself, but that's what's most relevant given the topic of today's class.
Awesome. Beautiful. So I always like to ask my guests the question of the week, which is, how do you go from an idea or a dream and make it a reality? How do you do it? Any tips or tricks you can add to what I shared? Were you on? I don't know if you were there.
Yeah, I was watching it. Definitely.
Okay, great.
And before I share that, I do have to apologize for my office space here. As you know, Amy, we just moved into a new house. And so
yes,
I don't even have my office set up yet or anything else like that, which I'm a little self-conscious of, but I'm getting past that. But more importantly, yeah, so you're asking how I accomplish my goals and my dreams?
Yeah.
I think the answer is it might surprise you, maybe not, might surprise some of your viewers. In my opinion, it's wonderful to have the foundation, which is what you were talking about with the goals, the dreams, writing it down, like all of those things. which I believe definitely activates it. I
Yes.
think for me, there's other things that have really helped me to crystallize the things that I've been able to achieve, which is letting go.
Mm-hmm.
This whole process of letting go of attachments to our goals and dreams. So I found that in the past, as many goals and dreams as I've had, I've also been very attached to them happening and feeling like, well, I won't be truly happy or peaceful or content or whatever it might be until I get those.
Yeah.
Which is it's great to be tenacious around our goals. But then I really discovered on a deeper level, and we've probably heard people say this a lot, but that ultimately it was so much more about the journey than the destination. And
Yes.
I knew that conceptually, but then when I truly made it about the journey, what I discovered is that the goals happen along the way. Not so much because I was chasing the outcome, but I was really being immersed in the presence of the moment and not actually worrying or being that concerned with what happens in the future. Because honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. And as much as we like to believe that we're in control of that,
It's
we're
true.
not. And something that I learned is that and I think many of us are actually addicted to certainty
Yeah.
and needing to be in control. So for me, so much of that is having the goals and the visions and the dreams, but then letting go of it and then really immersing myself in so much more joy in the moment.
I love that. And this is why I asked, because I totally agree with you. Like, that is, there has to be, like you said, the foundation, but then you got to let it go. And what I like to say the secret to happiness is having goals and dreams and all that, but being 100% content for what is right now. And that's the shit right there.
It
That's
really
what.
is. And I think to add to it is like, because I also found that once I did reach some of these goals and dreams, then I had bigger ones.
Yeah.
And then I felt like, well, why not reaching those bigger ones? Or I should be there by now, right? Like all of these shoulds and all these comparisons. And it was just like, even when I reached them, even when there were goals that I'd never even imagined I would accomplish, and I got them, then I'd look around and be like, yeah, but it's taken so long. I should be at this place at this point in time, or I should be making this much money at this point. Like I should be like all this stuff, which is really like looking for ourselves where we're not. Like we're not there.
Yeah.
And so I did find some emptiness even in the achieving of some of these goals.
Yeah.
So over time, I would say like I've disassociated myself with goals. And if they happen, then I celebrate it and I love it. And if they don't, that's okay, because like I'm really making my own happiness today the most important thing.
Absolutely. I love that. I hope you're taking notes, people. I hope you're taking notes. Perfect. So tell me about joy first, Tiamo.
Yeah, thanks for asking that, Amy. And I think we all might have an idea of joy, right? We might think of joy as like, like an exclamation point, exuberance, like so much, like an abundance of happiness and all of that stuff. And I've actually found that joy actually is not quite like that for me. It can be. But before I say what joy first is, let me say what I believe joy is. I
Okay.
believe joy is presence and gratitude expressing itself.
Hmm.
That's
I
my
love that.
new definition of joy, which is then related to our relationship to the present moment. And
Can
then
you
on a
say that
deeper,
again,
excuse
please?
me?
Can you give the definition again, please?
Yeah, joy is presence and gratitude expressing itself.
Mm.
And then it's about doing what you love with who you love in the moment. Now, who you love, so it could be other people, but who you love could be yourself. Right? So that you're always doing something that you love with people that you love. And to me, joy is also a journey back to our true selves. I feel like we're on this path of the hustle and grind, but we weren't born into that. Like, I don't believe that's what our lives are meant to be, is
Yeah.
about the hustle. I believe our lives are actually meant to be joyful. I believe that joy is a birthright that then we lose along the way. So to me, that's what joy is. Now, what is joy first? To me, joy first is a radical reprioritization, a commitment to making joy first in your life. Because what happens is when you don't put joy first in your life, it ends up last. Because it's like, well, once I get like my work stuff done, once I get that launch done, that event done, once I make a certain amount of money, once I work hard enough and exhaust myself and burn myself out, then maybe possibly at the end of all of that, if I still have any time or energy left, I might do some joy.
Right.
That's how it goes for like almost everybody, including me. That's how it was.
Yeah.
So then joy becomes something at the end of the finish line that we actually never even get to. But we do all this other stuff like work. Well, we work every day, right? So that's like our priority hierarchy. But to me, joy first is these three things. Number one, it's a mindset. And it's about being courageous enough to claim your joy on a daily basis. Not like when you go on vacation once a year, but a daily basis. Then number two is it's a practice.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something about goals earlier, which is scheduling them. So that's how joy works, is you have to schedule it, you have to stick with it, you have to show up for it. It has to be tangible, right? There has to be a system, there has to be a structure around it. Then number three is that joy first is a lifestyle. This is where you intentionally, and where I intentionally work less. I play a lot more. And then subsequently, not because I'm trying to do that, but then I actually make more. I make more because I'm in my joy, because when I'm in my joy, I'm raising my own vibration and I become a greater magnet for things to happen. And it happens in ways that I just can't explain, because it's magic, because joy is magic. But it's something that we have to be intentional about.
Totally agree. Yes. What he said. So what kind of challenges though did you have prior to coming to this realization?
Yeah, there was a threshold for me in that I had reached a lot of success and prosperity and the following and the audience and the whole, all that wonderful stuff. And I found myself chasing even more than I ever have. Mm-hmm. And in that chasing, the hustle, the grind of just, you keep scaling, keep growing, keep building it, I started getting weak. I started getting sick. My life force energy was getting sucked out of me. And so what I do, I worked harder. And I just kept doing that.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, I got so burned out that I just really sat down with my soul, Amy. And honestly, God, or my version of God, we all have different versions. And I had like out loud conversations of like, this is not what I want my life to be. And so that was relative to my own health, my well-being, and my energy level. And I was like, this is not who I am. And this is not who I strive to become. Like, if I would go back and talk to myself back in grade school, middle school, high school, even college, and I would say to my younger self, Tiamo, this is your life now. You're exhausted, you're burned out, and you're sick half the time. What do you think? my younger self would have been really, really disappointed in that outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started asking myself how I could transform this. And that's how I started getting my joy first inspiration, because I was like, wait a second, I got to be deliberate about this whole thing. I actually have to be as deliberate about joy as I am about building a business. And that's where everything started for me.
Beautiful. So I used to put blocks in like Amy time, right? So that helps. But now I say joy first. Because that's way better. That's way better. So thank you. Thank you for that. So we're going to have a brief commercial. So stay with us. And when we come back, we're going to hear Tiamo's number one life hack, number one life tip. And he has a beautiful gift for you, the audience. So stay tuned after these few minutes.
I've never been to Cabo before, but I fell in love, especially with this place that has so much magic and good vibrations. What Amy has created here is nothing short of magic. It's just so beautiful. From the beautiful tents, sleeping in them at night, it's just so peaceful.
So many fun facilities to do within 15-20 minutes from here. We've been scuba diving, snorkeling, bungee jumping, zip lining, riding ATVs, all within just a few minutes of this location. It's been so fun. The vibration is so great here, such good energy. I would highly recommend coming if you want to go somewhere just amazing here in Cabo.
I think if I were to just sum it up really quickly, I would just call it magical. It's truly just such a beautiful place. The energy is so welcoming, and you just can't be sad here. It's truly, truly magical. So thank you for this experience.
Yes, thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Love it. I
love
want to
you.
come back
Stay
soon. Thank
forever.
you.
I cannot wait to be back, and I hope you allow yourself to have this beautiful experience as well.
We're back. Welcome back. Awesome. So, Tiamo, what is your number one life hack? Number one life tip? If you had to shout something from the roof, from the mountain, that the whole world was there listening,
Yeah.
what would you tell them?
Well, so there's a few layers of this. For me, it may not surprise you, but I would say put joy first in your life. And I'm going to say a little more about that, but it literally is a question you ask yourself when you are planning your day, your week, and your, around your business, your goals, all of that stuff, which is the daily question of, am I putting joy first? Whatever, like all the decisions that you make, am I putting joy first? When you actually are honest with yourself about that question, you'll find that the answer to that question is almost always, if not always, no. So I'll add to that this concept that I learned from someone, her name is Oracle Girl, and she was talking about how our suffering only continues because we continue not saying no to things.
Yeah.
We say yes to all these things that don't serve us, but we don't say no. So we have to get very clear about what our no's are before we can claim what our greatest yes is, which is joy. But before you get there, it's like you got to purge, you got to clear all that stuff out, which we have justifications for all of these things that are really no's in our lives. Like we're forcing them to be yeses, but they're really no's at a soul level, right? They're like mind decisions, ego decisions, fear-based decisions, instead of soul decisions. So for me, it's if we really want to live life at a soul level, we have to know what doesn't serve us and commit to removing that and then stepping into what does and then embracing it, which is scary. But I can tell you since we're talking about hacks, one of the greatest hack in living a joy-first life is to structure your life around joy. So this is how it actually works. Like in your schedule, and you just like, you work from a blank canvas, and you look at your schedule, and in your schedule you put in the things that bring you joy first. And then you schedule your life around it. You schedule your work around that. So then joy becomes the nucleus of your life, not something that's drifted so far away that you don't even know how to do it anymore.
Right.
Right. So then it becomes this whole new life where you have these things almost daily that you're so looking forward to. Now, it doesn't have to be something that takes half a day. It could be 30 minutes, right? Like maybe it's yoga for 30 minutes to start the day or the end of the day, or it's something else, right? So for me, what I found is the nature of joy is that it wants to grow, it wants to expand, and it wants to have more. So then we give ourselves the gift of that. But to do that, we actually have to very tangibly go into our schedule and say, that's it. I'm putting this down on my schedule so I know that it's going to happen every day. Because the thing is, if it's not on our schedule, it won't happen.
It's true.
And one other thing I'll say around that is if I want to know what's the most important to anyone, all I have to do is ask them to show me their calendar. Show me your calendar. And then I'll look at it and I'll know, okay, that's what's most important. Now, what will we find in there? What we'll find in there, Amy, is we'll find like the calendar is mostly all work. Yep. There isn't family time. There isn't quality time with your husband and wife or your son or daughter. There isn't the thing you love. Maybe you sprinkle it. Maybe there's some sprinkles in there. Okay?
Yeah.
But I can look at it and I can say, all right, that is the snapshot of what is most important to you. Now, if you look at my calendar, you're going to see joy all over the place. And then you'll see some work sprinkled in there. That to me is a huge difference. And now I can say, if you look at my calendar, my joy first calendar, I can tell you truthfully, like, this is my greatest priority in life. And then I commit to it every day and I stick to it and I love it. And that's what I want for everybody watching this.
Woo! I love it. So you ask the question, am I putting joy first? That's all day long. Am I putting joy first? And you'll start realizing probably that you're not. And by starting a clean slate with the schedule, what is it that makes you happy? What is it that brings you joy? And if you're not sure, then go explore, right? I in the coaching that I do, often I'm like, what makes you happy? And they just stare at me. They don't even know.
They don't. Well,
and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. We've been programmed to work all the time.
That's how we're conditioned. And so what I would say to people who say, well, I don't know what that is, right? Because some of us are like, oh, I know exactly what my joy is. I'm just not doing it. But a lot of people don't know what it is. So then what I would say is the seed of joy is being content and satisfied. So start with what makes you satisfied. Most of us can do that. Like, what's something that you like or that you feel content or peaceful when you're doing it? Maybe it's not like, oh, I'm exploding with joy. Maybe it's not that. Yeah. But then what happens is when you start doing things where you are content and satisfied, that multiplies. You start wanting it more. And then it becomes bigger and expands. And then you actually start finding things that give you joy. And then your soul wants so much more of it because our souls are starved of it. We're starving our souls of joy.
Yeah, we are. We absolutely are. I love that you're here. I love your mission. It's totally in alignment with mine, which is to liberate people from suffering and to light the path to joy and love. And so tell us what you got here with the Joy First journey. What do you have
as you
for our
can
audience?
probably tell, like, I could talk about this for I could talk about it for hours, many hours,
We have
because
2
there's a lot more
minutes.
detail.
We
Yeah, but
have
in
2
2 minutes, it's so I have this master class. It's a video master class where I go a lot deeper into how this works if you really want to do this in your life. So you can just go to joyfirstjourney.com. You'll go in there, you'll get my complimentary master class. And there I go into a lot more as far as what this is, how it works, and then more importantly, how to make this real in your life and not just like an idea, but it is really life transforming. And I also talk about like how to start to not like this whole complete lifestyle change overnight, but like the best places to just begin and get started with this.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Any last words for the audience?
Yeah, the last thing I want to say, Amy, is thank you. And if anything that I am saying around this is touching your heart in the smallest way, then listen to it and just explore this concept. Keep exploring it, keep following it, and you'll find that it is truly something that can transform your life at a very, very deep level, where then one day you could look at your life and you can say, I am so proud of how I'm living my life. And that's what I want for you.
Absolutely. I can tell you from my side that it absolutely changes the trajectory of your life. And I am in love with my life. I love getting out of bed. I didn't always feel that way. I would say up until 5 years ago, I couldn't say that. I couldn't say that I would wake up out of bed and go, make a noise, grunt a little. And now it's like, all right, another beautiful day. And it is, you got to plan. You got to plan for the joy. Plan for the joy. Joy first. It
doesn't just happen. You have to plan for it. Just like what you were talking about at the beginning, like you have to be super intentional about this.
Yeah.
And when you are, for all the results and the outcomes and everything else, then I'll say, I'll keep this a little surprise. Watch what happens.
Yes. And please connect with us, both of us. We'd love to hear how it's working out for you. And, because this is both of our highest joy, isn't it, Tiamo? Seeing people find their joy.
Oh my God, it is so good. Yeah, I just love it because joy is meant to be shared with others. So absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you, my friend. You're gonna go backstage for a bit, but I'll have you on at the end. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all that you've been through and all the lessons you've figured out to be able to be here to share this with us. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Amy. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. We'll see you in a bit. All right. Joy first, people. Joy first. All right. This is the part of the show where it's time for mantra magic. Beautiful. So this is the part where Kelsey, my beautiful friend, comes on. She's a professional singer, and she is committed to a new mantra every week for our audience, for you. And you can find it on Instagram at Amy Joy Coaching every week. So, because you probably won't remember it in just this one sitting. So go to Instagram and you can look it up and see past ones as well. You can go to E360 TV to watch any past episodes, which have the mantra magics in them. And what is a mantra? A mantra is a phrase or a song on a loop that is beautiful and inspiring and makes you feel good. So much of the things that we have in our mind are not positive and aren't actually serving us. And if we can put a different story in there, it changes your life. Change your thinking, change your life, change your story, change your life, change your frequency, change your life. So here is Kelsey and Monique.
Raising my vibration, good things coming my way. And when we raising our vibration, good things happen all day. Hey guys, welcome to Mantra Magic. This is Monique.
Hi.
And my name is Kelsey. So good to have you guys back this week. And we've just created something very short, very sweet, very simple about you attract beautiful things when you're in a higher vibration. So we're gonna do that one more time. We ready, Moan?
Ready.
When we raising our vibration, good things coming my way. And when we raising our vibration, good things happen all day. And when we raising our vibration, good things coming my way. And when we raising our vibration, good things happen all day. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
How great are they? Oh my gosh, I love them. Perfect. I have a brief commercial and we'll be right back for meditation moment. Stay with us.
This world is changing more and more every day, and we've decided to change right along with it. My name is Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the president of Trajectory TV Network. At Trajectory, our vision is to provide a creative platform for top content creators and storytellers from around the globe. We're also dedicated to providing this world with content that is healing, educational, empowering, exciting, and above all else, entertaining and transparent. So right now, I invite all of you who believe yourselves to be global game changers to use the link found here and simply take a chance. Schedule a virtual chat where you'll have the opportunity to share your vision for your very own global television show with me, the network president. So use that link, and together, let's begin changing and healing this world, one story at a time. And remember, whether you have years of experience in front of the camera or zero experience, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is your desire to share great content through television and a willingness to share it with passion and with purpose. You might ask, how do I know if I've fallen in love with my purpose and my purpose has fallen in love with me? It's easy when you've lost your voice because you just can't stop talking about it. I'll see you soon.
Welcome back. Time for meditation moment. And why do we do that? We take 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. I hope you can stop whatever you're doing right now and just have a seat. If you're driving, keep your eyes open, but this will feel really good too as you're driving. Meditation allows us to be present. It is the bringing back from the past or the present in our mind to the right here, right now. And when we're present, there's no suffering in the present. We have everything we need right now. You're not in your messed up past or your messed up future. You're just right here, right now. And I'm going to guide you, and it's really easy and beautiful, and it might be your favorite 5 minutes of the day. So please join me. I'm going to play some beautiful music while we do this. Let me get that for us. Here we go. And I want you just to close your eyes for a sec. And at the end of this meditation, I'm going to send you a beautiful energetic blessing of love and light. I was initiated in this with a beautiful group called Ep10. They are the World Center for Enlightenment in India, and I'm forever grateful for them. And if you want to receive it, just set that intention. And if you don't, that's okay too. You can set that intention. So just close your eyes. And I want you to observe your breathing. And just feel the air enter and leave your nostrils. Just notice. And on this next breath, I want you to breathe all the way down into your lungs, down deep, down at the bottom. And when you exhale, I want you to just go, ah. And set the intention to let everything go. Anything that doesn't serve you, just let it go. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. And now I want you to observe your thoughts. Don't make them good or bad, right or wrong. Just observe them. Notice, are they thoughts from the past? Or are they thoughts of the future? Or are they present thoughts? Just observe. And just observe how you're feeling right now. Don't make it right or wrong, good or bad. Just notice. Now I want you to visualize a flame flickering right in front of your eyes. Just watch it. And now slowly bring that light, slide it right into the middle of your brain. And let it burn there. Watch the beauty. And with your hands on your heart, I want you to think of one thing you're grateful for. And hopefully it brings a smile to your lips. And as you sit in this gratitude, I'll be sending this blessing to you, this energetic transfer of love and light. And just receive it. With a deep breath in and a smile on your face, exhaling. How did that feel? Those of you on Facebook, I would love to hear how that felt for you. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful just to stop for a second, isn't it? All right. I am excited to bring back Tiamo here. Here he is. Here he is. So normally, Tiamo, we have a question of the week. But next week, I want to announce to you all that we have Dr. Stephen Clayman coming back. And we are creating a segment called Fix Your Own Ass and Other Things Too. And he is going to be coming on every third Thursday of the month to share his nuggets and wisdom on how to fix our own ass. And because this show is all about getting our shit together. And he has a lot of tips and tricks out of his decades of work and schooling and patience. So next week we will be doing that. And the question is how do you fix your own ass? So we're going to be answering that question next week. Tiamo, we have 30 seconds. What words do you have for the audience?
Well, thank you, Amy, for once again having me on. The last words I would say is maybe your greatest dreams are not what's going to happen in the future. Maybe it's what could be happening right now. And maybe if you take the first step in making that a priority, those dreams and goals and visions will happen on their own, or maybe even happen in a different, perhaps even better way than you imagine, right? If we can let go, not only because I talked about control, but also let go of the addiction of doing.
Exactly.
And focus on a lot more being.
Let's be, people. Let's be.
Let's go
Thank
be.
you, Tiamo. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here, sharing this time. We'll see you next week. Remember, together we vibrate higher, and that, my friends, changes the world. We'll see you next week. Besos. Love you. Bye. Thank you for watching Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. If you'd like to follow us, you can on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Amy Joy Coaching. Appreciate so much